Hello everyone. Let us study the auto ancillaries or auto component industry. The Indian auto component industry is having a healthy growth for the last few years because of end user market is very buoyant, consumer sentiment is positive, return on liquidity in the financial system is good, and the Indian auto component industry accounts for 7% of India's GDP and is a very major employer, employing 19 million people directly and indirectly. It has got the benefit of a stable government rules and regulations and framework. It's got an increased purchasing power of people. It's got a large domestic market and an ever increasing development in infrastructure which are working for the auto component industry. The Indian auto components industry is into two types. One is organized sector, other is unorganized sector. The organized sector caters to OEMs and consists of high value precision instruments. An unorganized sector comprises of low value products and caters to the aftermarket category. Automotive components has scaled 3 times, tripled actually, to $39 billion in 1516, while the exports have grown even faster to $10.8 billion. There has been driven by a strong growth in the domestic market and increasing globalization of several Indian suppliers. The Indian auto component industry is expected to grow by 8 to 10% in FY 17 and 18, based on higher localization by original equipment manufacturers OEMs, higher component content per vehicle, and rising exports from India. According to the Automotive Component Manufacturer Association, Indian auto components industry is expected to register a turnover of $100 billion by 2020, backed by strong exports ranging from 90 to 100 billion by 2026 from the current 11 billion. Now, what are the investments in this sector which will shape your share price? The cumulative foreign direct investment inflows into Indian automobile sector April 2000 to 2016 end are at $16 billion as given out by Department of Industrial DIPP. Now, what are the major investments made in Indian auto component sector so that you can choose the company where you want to invest? Gestamp, a Spanish automobile component manufacturing company, has invested 260 crore, that is $38.63 million in a new hot stamping plant in Pune in order to cater to the increasing demand for lighter vehicles in India. Exide Industries, India's biggest automotive battery maker, plans to invest 300 crore rupees, that is $45 million in West Bengal to expand its capacity for advanced motorcycle batteries over a period of 18 months. Matherson Sumi Systems Limited, an automobile component manufacturer, has acquired Finland-based truck wire maker PKC Group PLC for 571 million euros, which will help the company expand its presence in the global wiring harness business for commercial vehicles. Sundaram Clayton, part of the TVS Group, plans to invest $50 million in US and 400 crore in India over the next 3 years, company to watch out for. Mercedes-Benz India Private Limited has set up India's largest spare part warehouse in Pune with an area of 16,500 square meters, which can stock up to 44,000 parts. It will also include a vehicle preparation center that can stock up to 5,700 cars to customize them before delivery. JK Tyre and Industries, India's leading tyre manufacturer, has acquired Cavendish Industries Limited for 2,200 crore, that is $329 million, which will enable JK's entry into fast-growing two-wheeler and three-wheeler tyre market. Japanese auto major Honda is planning to step up supply and target exporting of auto components worth 1,500 crore, that is $224 million from India to its various international operations. Auto component maker Bharat Forge Limited, the flagship company of $3 billion Kalyani Group, has formalized an agreement with Rolls-Royce PLC to supply BFL with critical and high integrity forged and machined components. Canada's Magna International Incorporated has started production of 2 facilities in Gujarat Sanand, which will supply auto parts to Ford Motor Company in India. Everstone Capital, a Singapore-based private equity firm, has purchased 51% in Indian auto component maker SJS Enterprises for an estimated 350 crore. So you should first invest in SJS Enterprises, small. ArcelorMittal signed a joint venture agreement with Steel Authority of India to establish an automotive steel manufacturing facility in India. German auto components maker Bosch Limited opened its new factory at Bidadi in Bangalore, which is its fifth manufacturing plant in Karnataka. The company has signed a memorandum of understanding with Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, with a view to strengthen Bosch research and development in areas including mobility and healthcare, thereby driving innovation for India-centric requirements. French tire manufacturer Michelin announced plans to produce 16,000 tons of truck and bus tires for its Indian facility this year, a 45% rise from last year. So Michelin is the one to be invested in. Amtech Auto Limited acquired Germany-based Scholz Endestahl GmbH through a 100% Singapore-based subsidiary Amtech Precision Engineering Limited. So buy into Amtech. MRF Limited plans to invest 4,500 crore, that is 660 million US dollars, in its two factories in Tamil Nadu as a part of the expansion. So buy into MRF, 3-year outlook. Hero MotoCorp is investing 5,000 crore in 5 manufacturing facilities across India, Colombia and Bangladesh to increase its annual production capacity to 12 million units. So Hero MotoCorp, that's why it is the darling of investors. The Government of India's Automotive Mission Plan 2006 to 16 has come a long way in ensuring growth for the sector. It is expected that this sector's contribution to GDP will reach 145 billion in 2016 due to government's special focus on exports of small cars, multi-utility vehicles, 2 and 3 wheelers and auto components. The deregulation of FDI in this sector has also helped foreign companies to make large investments in India. Government of India Automotive Mission Plan 16 to 26 envisages creation of an additional 50 million jobs, along with an ambitious target of increasing the value of the output of the sector to 1889 crores or US $283 billion. This rapidly globalizing world is opening up newer avenues for transportation industry, especially where it makes a shift towards electric, electronic and hybrid cars, which are more efficient, safe and reliable. Over the next decade, this will lead to newer verticals and opportunities for auto component manufacturers who would need to adapt to the change via systematic research and development. Indian Institute of Science, IITs, they can come in very handy. Indian auto components industry is set to become the third largest in the world by 2025. Indian auto component makers are well positioned to benefit from globalization of this sector, and the export potential is increased to 40 billion by 2020. So think about Indian auto components and think about all these companies I have shown you. Thank you for watching.